Hello. I already made a video about metal detecting and how to get permission to do so. This video is about bottle digging and how to gain permission to do so. Underneath the soil or hidden in the ground, there's a lot of treasures to be found. Dirty secrets of Scotland. As I said in the metal detecting permission video, the most important thing is research. If you do your research in advance, you'll find it so much easier to gain permission. So before I knock any doors, I get on the computer and this is how it's done. This is pastmap.org.uk. I use this as a resource for both metal detecting and for bottle digging. And I've touched on this before, but if you go into this box here, and I live in Kirkcaldy, so I'll put that in and hit go. And then the filters that I use, scheduled. As I said before, you can't go on scheduled monuments, you can't detect them or dig on them. And then there's can more. These two will keep you right. If you click on these, it tells you in a new window details about that area and the history of the area or any finds that have been made there. So that's really handy to use. And scheduled areas are shown in red. I'll zoom out a bit, I'll find a scheduled area. There's one actually. Yeah, see the red? That's a castle, Ravenscraig Castle. So you can't obviously metal detect or bottle dig there, but that just shows you that you can, and it gives you the reasons that you can't, and here opens in a new window. Gives you some details. So yeah, it's a great resource for finding the history of the area. This is the National Library of Scotland side-by-side maps, and it shows you on the left old maps and on the right current maps. So this is my hometown in Kirkcaldy, and obviously you can't dig here because there's houses built on top of it, but this is exactly the kind of thing you're looking for. These lines here mean a banking, and this was originally a reservoir that's been filled in to build the houses. But it could also have been filled in with rubbish first, and then they put concrete on top of that and made foundations and built the houses. But generally speaking, if you see this banking, and if you see a hole in the ground, an old hole in the ground, the chances are on the outskirts of a town or village that they filled it back in with refuse after it was used. If you go to this filter here, you can look at the maps through the periods of time. This is much earlier. Not a great map, that one. Here we go. It actually says on this one clay pit. Clay pits are perfect. That's the kind of thing you're looking for. As I say, don't try and dig this up because it's someone's house. But yeah, if you just look at the area you live in, zoom out, it tells you what it's like now, and on the left it tells you what it was like then. Look out for recesses in the ground. Excellent, you've gained permission from the landowner, so you go to the site to check it out. When you get there, the first thing to look out for is animal burrows, because if you can see that rabbits have been there kicking out lots of broken glass, you know that there's broken glass below your feet. If on the surface you're only finding clear glass, broken glass and whole bottles with screw caps, chances are the tip's not that old. But it could be that there's an older seam underneath and they've piled on top of it. So it's always worth digging test pits to see what's below. However, if you get to the bottom and you find clay or sand and all you're finding is machine-made bottles, then it's really not worth digging that tip. Most tips, unfortunately, have already been dug. If you're lucky and you find a fresh one, that's amazing, and good luck to you because it's hard to do that. However, if you get there and you see that it's been dug before, there still will be fresh areas. So you have to find those fresh areas to dig down and find your own bottles. Fresh ground that's not been dug has seams in it. So you'll see different colours, different bands, and that's how you know that someone hasn't dug down, disturbed it all and mixed it all up. If there's seams, it's fresh. You've done your research, you've gained permission, you've found your tip, you're digging down and you're finding bottles. That's fantastic, that's what we all want. Now, tell the landowner what you're finding, because if you don't, again, with metal detecting, they'll think you're a chancer, and you don't want that. You want a good reputation. So show them what you're finding, or send them pictures of what you're finding, and ask them if they want to take a few of them. They may do, and they may not. I've got landowners that are interested, and I've got landowners that aren't interested. But either way, just tell them. And finally, good luck and happy hunting. Underneath the soil or hidden in the ground, there's a lot of treasures to be found. Dirty secrets of Scotland.